are the 4 points you need to be able to calculate in buying a house. We found a house and it costs $224,900. That's about $250,000. And we're going to borrow money for 30 years, and we call it a mortgage, and 30 years is pretty normal. The rate of interest is 5.5%. The down payment we're being required to make is 20%, and the monthly payments that have been calculated are going to be $1,021.57. So I want to know how much money I am actually going to be paying for this house after 30 years, and how much of that was interest. So the first thing I'm going to figure out is my down payment. And my down payment says it's 20%, and it's 20% of my home cost. So it's going to be 20% of $224,900. And we know to change that to a decimal of 2 multiply $224,900, and we get $44,980 just for the down payment, just to get through the door. The second item I need to figure out is how much money I actually need to borrow, and that is what's called my mortgage, how much I am going to have to borrow. So it's going to be the cost of the house minus the down payment, because I have to pay that up front. So I'm going to go back to my $224,900 minus my down payment, which I just calculated, and I get $179,920 is how much I need to borrow from the bank. Now there are other things called points that are talked about later in the chapter, but we're just going to go with this for now. So 3, how much am I actually paying for this house? How much am I actually paying? And this is where my heart always skips a beat. Okay, so I need to know the total number of payments that I'm making, and that is 30 years times 12 months, because I'm making monthly payments. So I'm going to make 360 payments. Now I'm going to take my 360 payments and I'm going to multiply it by my monthly payment, the $1,021.57, and I find out that over 30 years I'm paying $367,765.20. Okay, so if that wasn't bad enough, I'm now going to take that and add my down payment to it, because that came out of my pocket. So I have my down payment to add to my total monthly payments, and that is going to lead me to $412,745.20. That is what my house now costs. So here I am, I'm buying it, it's for $250,000. 30 years later, after I make my down payment, I borrow the money, I pay interest on the money that I borrowed, my house is actually going to have cost me $412,000. That's approaching $500,000. That kind of makes me a little scared, but in today's housing market, I guess that's pretty normal. So now I want to figure out how much interest was paid. And what I do is I take my total that I just paid minus the cost of the home, which was 2249, and I get $187,845. So that is interest only. That is what I have paid to borrow money over 30 years to pay for my house.